Well, hey, Mark. Good to see you again. We have an interesting guest on today, Miss Anita Seagraves, and she was a actual request from both our executive director, Ann Savage, but also one of my friends in the praise band at St. Paul's, Miss Sue Fair, because Sue serves with Anita on the Randolph County Fair Board, and that's coming up in like 2 weeks.
Quintessential behind the scenes busy bee, but also just a delightful person. Enjoyed hearing the discussion. Did a wonderful job of the interview there. And we're just so happy to have people that want to be on the show and want to come and talk to us and share their story. But that fair board does a lot.
Yes. I mean, they had this past year, they had a spring carnival, which was new for me that I'd never heard of. I didn't see one growing up. And that was to help the fair board prepare for the fall fair. And they were able to kind of get that spring carnival group locked in for multiple years so we can have a carnival at our fall fair. That's been a little difficult lately.
And it was, you're always comparing, or at least I am, the carnivals and fairs to when we were kids. And it seems like there was a stretch there in the last several years that there was a little bit of a downgrade there. But this spring carnival, we took all of our kids for armband night or, we did the whole spiel this time, and it was a really good carnival.
Oh, yeah. It looked
rodeo
good.
And everything. It was great.
And one new thing that I need to mention that this fair week will have is on Wednesday night, they're going to bring some of the local churches together and have them be featured on that Wednesday night. So you can come to the fair, have dinner and then also if you want to partake, you can go to a church service as well. So they're really being creative and trying to be different to see what sticks to try and increase the engagement. But enjoy this episode with Anita Seagraves of the Randolph County Fair Board. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And if you have a guest idea, remember to send us an email at commercecastpod@gmail.com. Enjoy today's episode. Mark, we're talking local commerce, but let's talk about looking clearly at your business. Literally. We want to thank Skylar Jackson and the crew at Pocahontas Glass for sponsoring today's show.
Absolutely, Todd. Located right across the street from Walmart on Highway 67 South, Pocahontas Glass is our go-to regional shop for auto, residential, and commercial glass.
From fixing that annoying rock chip on your windshield to installing high-efficiency vinyl windows that slash your winter heating bills, Skylar's team does it all. They even handle commercial storefronts and custom shower enclosures.
Upgrade your home, vehicle, or storefront today. Call Skylar and the Pocahontas Glass team at 870-892-7676.
Mark, we're always looking at the numbers behind local business. But here's a number every family in Randolph County needs to know. 39. We want to thank our sponsor, John Plumley, and his team at ProMed Ambulance for sponsoring today's episode.
That's right, Todd. For over 30 years, ProMed has been bringing world-class care directly to our doorsteps. And their priority care program is a game changer. It's not insurance. It's an ambulance membership that shields you from unexpected transport bills.
That number, $39 a year for an individual or $69 a year for your entire household, you're covered across their massive 4,600 square mile service region. We are talking about literal rolling emergency rooms equipped with LifePak monitors and critical care ventilators.
And if your insurance doesn't cover a transport, members get a 40% discount. Protect your family's budget today at promedambulance.com or call at 870-248-0911.
We thank ProMed Ambulance for sponsoring today's episode. Hello, welcome to the CommerceCast. Today we have a very special guest today, someone who is involved in a county-wide event that's coming up in just a few weeks. Anita Seagraves from the Randolph County Fair Board.
Hello.
Hello, nice to meet you. We have some mutual friends, not just Executive Director Ann Savage, but also Sue Fair and Matt Fair.
Yes.
do they serve on the board, or are they just big helpers?
They serve on the board, and they're big helpers.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear.
Yes.
Well, Anita, it's good to have you here. Now, Ann told me that you'll be someone excellent to have on, and I, of course, love the fair, so this is great. But I do not know a lot about you, so I kind of our guests may know a little bit about you, but I don't. And this is my podcast. I can ask you, who are you? And so I would love for myself and our listeners to get to know a little bit about you before we jump into kind of who you represent. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your background. How long have you called Randolph County home? Are you a transplant? Are you a native? And kind of what keeps you here in Randolph County?
Absolutely. My husband and I were born and raised in Randolph County. We have 4 children. We've been married 27 years. We have a cattle and poultry operation in northern Randolph County, up north of Pocahontas in the Dalton-area. Did I say we have 4 children?
You did say you have 4 children.
I have 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls.
And they're going to be really happy their mom is on the internet too.
What keeps me going, I think, is, I know what keeps me going is my faith. I am a born again Christian. My faith in the Lord Jesus Christ, it has been life changing, and it pushes me to do more, to volunteer, to do things for my community and for my church. And so that is why.
Well, one of the fruits of the Spirit, two of them are kindness and generosity. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yes. So that is the driving force behind what I do in life. And then it is the reason I volunteer.
And I think we even have ran into each other at your church at Sutton.
Yes.
I believe one of the Randolph County Chamber of Commerce board members, John East Trammell, had us both recruited into the choir.
Yes. The Christmas cantata.
Yes.
Yes, I enjoyed that very much.
So I'm sure you're also a little bit saddened with the loss and movement of Pastor Kevin.
Absolutely. He was a great man, and we miss him dearly. But we're also excited for the new pastor that the Lord is going to bring us. So we're praying about that.
And so your faith, and then I believe you mentioned earlier that you were having some difficulty today with some chickens on your farm. Did they get all that handled, or are they easy going right now, or what?
Yeah, they are. I gathered eggs this morning, and then my 2 daughters were going to come in this evening and walk. And so that's something we do every day is we gather eggs for Peco. Our eggs go to the hatchery, and then those eggs hatch out, and then those little broiler chicks go to all the broiler farms.
Wow. So you're like the first place where the chickens are actually born.
Yes. They go to the hatchery. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure the eggs get transported safely.
Yes. And they have to go in big end up. There's a lot of details that go into it. And we've been doing that for about 14 years. We've been working. So we do that. And then we have cattle. We raise registered polled and horned Herefords. And I take care of the bookkeeping for the farm, cook lunch, and that's pretty much. And then I volunteer.
What's the meal they most like for you to cook?
Oh, probably steak and potatoes and salad, just kind of the regular. That's the go-to. But I'm telling you, they like tacos, they like spaghetti, they like it all. They just want something good.
Of course. Well, thankfully, the steak is really close. Just right outside the door.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, we know one thing that we invited you on here today is because you're involved in one of the biggest and also most annual, most consistent things happening in Randolph County, which is the Randolph County Fair. You serve on the fair board, I believe, as treasurer, right?
Yes, sir.
You mentioned you're good with numbers, good bookkeeping, so that makes sense. The executive director, Ann, was like, Todd, this is a big event coming up. We should be helping promote it. And we also have another mutual friend who's a board member, Sue Fair. And when I told her that you would recommend it, she said, Todd, you need to have her on. She's really good. So you had a lot of recommendations come and sit down and talk to you about the fair, which is something that I've grown up going to. So I'm glad to know that we have some more people continuing to build it up.
Yes.
Now, you, when I think of the fair, I think of Dallas Columbus burgers. I also think of, I'm not sure what the building is called, but when you first walk in the gates, go to the left, it's where all the businesses set up all their little booths inside.
The commercial building.
Commercial building.
Yes.
And I just have fond memories of going through and getting a bunch of pins and then filling out some raffle tickets, but mostly it was, how many pins can I collect? That was just something me and my siblings did every year. It was a good little first stop. My mom and dad would take us on. They would visit with people behind the booths because they knew a lot of them. But we would try and get the pins. Occasionally there'd be some candy. Some years the candy would not be very good. But usually there were always pins. Sometimes they'd have fans. And there'd be usually some toolboxes for raffling. Just lots of little different raffles, but the pins, I just enjoyed. I got my year collection of pins every time going through that commercial building. So how is that building? Is it still kind of laid out the same, or they have new things going through? There's
like 44 spaces in that building, and we are hoping to have it full this year. So it will be your local businesses. The sheriff's department always sets up in the corner, and they give out coloring books and lots of goodies for the kids, stickers, and that's always a place the kids want to visit. The political parties, a lot of times they will be there. I'm trying to think. Operation Christmas Child, the shoebox ministry, they were set up last year. There will be just a lot of area businesses in that building. And then right on down from that building is the June Symington building, where the arts and crafts, flowers.
We're going to get to that. I've started, because of Sue, I've started walking through that. And then also, I have another friend and cousin, Rose Thrush, who's also involved in that. And I'm actually trying to get one of my friends and one of host Mark's cousins, David Holt, to put some of his artwork into that collection. So that building, I'm starting to walk through that and actually recognize some names of some of those blue ribbons. Now, another memory that I distinctly recall and that I still actually experience every year is the delicious food, from the KC burgers to the funnel cakes. And then I usually walk past the big building, the big bar in the middle. I sometimes walk through it, but usually walk past it. And I always walk past the rodeo. But then the big location as a little kid is a carnival.
Yes.
And I know that there's been bigger, smaller carnivals, and we had a spring carnival this year. Are we having a carnival again this year in the fall?
We are.
Okay, awesome.
Yes.
Because I just remember some of those rides, and it was just always enjoyable, sometimes a little bit scary, but always fun when you're a little kid to go on those rides.
Yes.
Now, those are my memories. What do you think of when you think of the fair from way back when you were a little girl?
Yes. So I'm a graduate of Oak Ridge Central School. I graduated in 95. So we showed cattle probably my last 4 or 5 years. And so that is my memory. Because when you went to Oak Ridge Central, you got out of school for a week to show your cattle at the fair. So it was something.
So if you didn't like cattle, you were going to show some cattle.
You're going to drag a cow up to the fair to get out of school. And so that is my fondest memory of just going up there, being with the other kids from school and hanging out and showing your cattle, getting out of school all week. It was actually the thing that I remember the most about my childhood, County Fair Week. It was something that I looked forward to as a teenager. But then as I got older, my kids all showed. And so it's the same thing. Prairie is 9, and it is the thing. County Fair, I mean, we're out there washing calves and blow drying and getting them ready because she knows County Fair is coming and it's going to be great for her. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, what do you think perfectly captures the Randolph County Fair? Is it something that your kids do? Something that you observe? What do you think that perfectly captures that moment of that the Randolph County Fair is here?
Well, I feel like there's 3 things that make a fair great. And I think Randolph County has all 3 of those. And it's, the first thing is the people.
Okay.
It's just the community when they come together to bring their exhibits, or people just walking through to see the exhibits. You can go out to the fairgrounds at any given time through the week and just see people visiting. And to me, in this world that is so fast paced and we're all on our phones, just to go walk through the fairgrounds and see people just
it's
sitting
very
around
tactile. It's very sensory.
Yes. So that's the first thing is the people. And then the second thing is the events. I mean, the rodeo and all the different events that are going on that make it a great fair. And then the third thing is the food. And I don't know, it may need to be flip-flopped.
Yes.
The food is
Food's a big draw.
a big draw, and it's just part of the fair.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you were to take the food out of the equation, it wouldn't be near as good, you
Yeah.
know, because there's things that we look forward to, the funnel cakes, and we've had Larry's Cup of Cream, that homemade ice cream. He's
Okay,
out
yep.
there for several years, and so that's one of the things I look forward to. The KC burger, the lemonade, the loaded
Yes.
lemonades. I know I'm
I think it's
forgetting.
Beta Sigma Phi is who does that, I
Yes,
believe.
they do.
They do lemonade and funnel cakes.
Yes, they do. And those, when you come out there and you buy a funnel cake or buy a lemonade or buy a night burger, you're supporting the
Yes.
things that they do, because the nights they give scholarships to BRTC.
For
And-
Agra, I believe.
Yes, they do. And then the Beta Sigma
Beta Sigma
Phi,
Phi.
they do 2
Scholarships end of the year.
yes, that's right. So when you get to enjoy your funnel cake, you're
Yes,
you're
you're so-
having a funnel cake for a bigger cost.
You are. Now, I want to touch on, you said, you know, your daughter Prairie or Son Prairie?
Yes, Prairie daughter.
That they're competing in the show.
Yes.
And there are many young people who compete in this show, both for the in the animal husbandry section. I've seen chickens, a lot of different chickens, some calves, some horses, and then I believe there's a Randolph County pageant as well that goes on. What do those events the county itself puts on to help young people learn and grow? Why do you think it is important that the county itself has an environment and creates an event for kids of all ages to do something and compete in an environment where they have to kind of prepare throughout the year? Because the cattle, you don't just drag a cattle out there last minute. You know about it at least 6 months in advance. You're trying to get that cow ready and that chicken ready.
Yes.
And when you're competing in a pageant, you're thinking ahead of time about your question to answer. Why do you think that's important that our county does something like that for its children?
Yeah, I think it's important because it teaches responsibility. When they, especially in the livestock side of things, you know, those kids are responsible for those animals, to care for them, to feed them, to get them ready for the show. And then
And to know about them too, because I believe
Yes,
they
they
have to
ask
answer questions.
they'll have to answer questions. And then, you know, county fair is the beginning of that cycle for that animal. They're because when they put that much work into them, generally they go ahead and take them to district fair
Okay.
and then on to state fair. So it's just the beginning. You know, you kind of, some of those calves are going to come out of the trailer and they're going to be a little bit salty still. And after a week at the county fair, they're pretty gentled down, and
Oh, that's awesome.
the kids are more comfortable with them. And then they go ahead and usually go on to district and maybe even
So
state
does
fair.
our county fair, are many counties having their county fair around our same time frame? Because you said that there's district and then there's state. I assume that means the district is at a certain time and
Yes.
state is at a certain time. So are all the county fairs within a nice window of like 3 weeks?
They're not. Now the rule, I'm pretty sure, is that we all have to have our fairs in before the district fair, which
Okay.
is the end of, I think it's the 3rd week of September.
Okay.
So, Sharp County, we purposefully keep our fair off of other fairs, you know, because we don't want the competition.
Especially
And-
for the district.
Yes, yes. But this year the fair is off of Labor Day weekend. We have moved it. So it is August 26th through the 29th. But did I answer the question?
You did. Yeah,
Okay.
you did. Yeah. Now, I want to go in touch more a little bit about what's happening at the fair. We talked about the commercial building,
Mhm.
and then you mentioned the June Symington building, which I was not aware how much was inside that building.
Mm.
It is like filled to the top of the ceiling with artwork, with various fruits, pies, quilts. There's tons of things in that building. Kind of how did that come about, and what all things can you compete in that building for besides just painting?
Yes, I'm not exactly sure how it came about because it's been there as long as I can remember. And when you walk in, there's the food, the canned goods. So that's the first thing that you can compete with, your things that you've grown and canned this year, pickles and relishes, tomatoes. There's, a huge
So those
list.
have to be fairly fresh because they're being sampled. So you have to probably do
No,
more
now
than one.
those aren't the way that those will be judged. They won't open the jars.
Okay.
They're going to judge them on the color and the consistency. There's a scale of things that they judge them on, but they will not be tasted. The things that are tasted, if you were to walk on, you would come into the baked good area, and that would be the things that they would judge off of taste.
Okay, awesome. And then what else walking into that building after you get to the food section? I know I've seen quilts, I've seen artwork. What other things exist inside that area?
The cut flowers and the plants are right there. The food is on the canned goods are on the left. Cut flowers and plants are on the right, and field crops like not field crops. I'm sorry, garden vegetables, tomatoes, peppers, anything you can grow, you can bring. I'm pretty sure. So that's all there right when you walk in, and then as you continue on, it's the photography. All your pictures that you've taken this year can be entered in different categories, and of course that's another thing. You get your fair book and look and see what category, what you have goes into and what the deadlines and everything are. And there's sewing, from doll outfits to complete outfits, like you said, the quilts. I think there's Afghans. There's just a wide variety of different needlework type things. And then there's like children's crafts section, and then there's adult crafts. There's Christmas crafts. And I'm just going off memory.
What that tells me is, though, there's something for all ages, for all interests to compete with at the fair.
Yes.
Especially with the artwork. You have photos you take. And, one thing that has been developing the past about 15 years is people doing artwork and things on the computer. So is there a section of people to actually print off something they graphic design, or is that something they all considering, or what?
I don't know about. That's a good question. I will check into that.
Yeah, because I know people are able to design things not just in Canva but in Illustrator, and since you have all these talented people who know about what actually looks good and quality looks good, and you have children and young people who are designing things in Minecraft and Roblox and also in graphic design programs. So that might be something the fair might want to be like, hey, we can do this and, because again, the fair is tactile and sensory, but like you mentioned earlier, we are on our phones. And so it's good to have, try and combine both. People realize they can have everything at the fair. We do not have a lot of political action going on in the fair, but we do have a lot of events happening at the fair. We have the EHC building, where those blue ribbon competitions are happening. We also obviously have a great vendor set up selling food. We have the rodeo. We have the carnival. But what other things are happening at the fair?
Yes, I'm so glad you asked. This year, we're going to have the lawnmower races because it was such a hit for the spring.
So important question. Because I remember lawnmower being a blue Holland lawnmower, and you have a little blower thingy, and it always got stuck. You have a little the mower deck. They did not want to go over rocks, but it did not go very fast. So is there but now of course you have 0-turn mowers from Kubota, and those go fast.
Yes.
Is there a limit? Is there different levels of, rabbit and hare, tortoise? What's going on?
Well, that is a Regina question, but I do know there will be classes based on horsepower or lawnmower size.
Good.
Probably. So,
is there a push mower section?
We did have a push mower section for the kids
Okay.
So I'm assuming she will do that again.
Okay.
And then we have AA Petting Zoo, which has exotic animals. They will be there with a kangaroo and many other exotic animals.
Okay.
And this is the same petting zoo that is at the district fair.
Okay.
So you can come to the Randolph County Fair for free.
That is impressive.
And see the same animals that you would see, exotic animals at the district fair. So come out and support that. Then we have on Monday night, we will have the lawnmower races going on in the rodeo arena and the open livestock show going on in the livestock show arena. And then Wednesday night, we're super excited about a community-wide church service in the rodeo arena. This is our first annual. So we've got lots of churches on board to participate in this service. So we are hoping that
that's awesome.
Churches will come out and on Wednesday night and just come out and see the fair and go to church.
I know that the Assembly of God Church used to have a booth or work in that kind of concrete building going on the way to the carnival. They were often, because I even volunteered in there when I was in youth group, that building. And then, of course, the KCs are from St. Paul's and St. John's, so they're selling their burgers. But that's really impressive. You're trying to incorporate all parts of Randolph County.
Yes.
Getting them involved. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, we always have to, our cattle have to be down there on Wednesday. So we always miss Wednesday night church. So this is a way we can still have church.
That's awesome.
And I just think it's going to be great. Open air church in the rodeo arena. So we're looking forward to that. And then another new thing this year is, Randolph County Born and Bred heifer and bull show. Last year we had heifers. This year we're having heifers and bulls. And these are cattle that have been conceived, born, and raised in Randolph County. And we've got some great sponsors for that show. And they give away some great prizes. So that is another thing that's going on.
And so that distinction means that the heifer and bull may not necessarily have to be the registered ones, like the registered Angus or whatever. It could be a heifer or bull from your local family farm as opposed to a very precise genetic history.
Yes, which we do have a lot of breeders within the county that raise registered Angus and red Angus. And so those people will
compete too.
Yes. So it's great because it just kind of levels the playing field where people aren't going out and buying a very expensive animal from outside, from another state or county or whatever, and then bringing it. I mean, those animals, we love to have them and they will compete, but this is just a class of their own for Randolph County Born and Bred.
I mean, I've had some really pretty, white calves be born, but they're not registered or anything, but it would be, would have been interesting, kind of cool if the white little calf that I bottle fed because the mother, didn't want to take care of it, but it was like registered genetically or anything. It would have been interesting. Like, I can take this and compete it.
Yes.
Because a lot of times, especially if you are at a smaller farm and you do have bottle feed a calf because you want to keep it, you get to know that calf a little bit better. And you feel a little sad when you do it. I take it to the sale barn. But I have distinct memories of bottle feeding some calves, cleaning the pens out, and then moving them from the dog pen up to the farm where there's a little less cleaning up to do. But a lot of memories of bottle feeding some calves, but they weren't registered. So there was never a thought in my mind to try and compete in the fair. But now we have a more open, more level playing field. Yeah. That's really awesome.
And then we also do have bottle calf class. I think bottle calves are great for the little ones. Of course, goats and sheep are as well. But for cattle people, a lot of times they don't have goats and sheep. So if your little one has their bottle calf, bring it on.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, anything to get these kids involved in the fair, because once they get the fair in their blood, it never gets out. I think that their life, that is always something they'll look forward to, and the memories of family and community are something that just can never be erased.
Well, the pageant and the raising the livestock, bringing the livestock, keeping livestock clean, knowing about the livestock, those questions answer, those are all skills the kids are learning and young people are learning that they can apply when they go apply for a job, if they start their own business, if they had to talk to someone to get a recommendation letter. They're learning skills at the county fair in a safe environment, in a rewarding, relaxed, encouraging environment that they can apply later on in life.
Yes, yes.
So anything else happening at the fair?
And I want to say it's not too late to get in the commercial building.
Okay, awesome.
I know that there will be spots available still, and you
Okay.
can talk to Steve Clements or Wendy Ward would be the contact on that. But I think that pretty well.
Well, a lot's going on at the fair. So, and especially adding some events, that's really impressive that the fair board is realizing there's enough interest that we can expand and do more with our fair.
Yes. And the horse show is the biggest show that we have down there.
Okay.
I think we had like over 50 horses last year. So we're looking.
I know at least 2 escaped because I saw them today.
So the horse show is always on Thursday night, I believe. It's great. So just, again, come out to the fair. It's going to be great.
You're the treasurer.
Yes.
And so you're trying to balance how to keep the fair alive, keep coming back every year.
Mm-hmm.
How do you and the board handle the consistently increased costs that have happened over the past 10 years to maintain an affordable and free admission for our county fair experience?
Well, it is a work in progress. We have a 1, a 3, and a 5-year plan to build infrastructure. But while we build infrastructure, we have to maintain and repair what we have there. So it's just fighting the fire that's the hottest. As far as, we had a major electrical meltdown during the fair last year, and we kind of limped through it, but we have a lot of electrical work to do. But we've got great sponsors, and having an industrial electrician on the board sure doesn't hurt anything. So if you see Larry Dowk, shake his hand and give him a big hug, because he saves us so much money because of what he's able to do out there. And not just Larry, but other people on the board that have expertise in areas of repair and things that help keep the fair going.
I know he's getting older, but I've seen Matt Fair get on top of some roofs. So hope I don't use him for any of y'all's roof repair projects, but he definitely can advise from the ground level.
Yes.
He will try and climb up, but please don't let him climb up the ladder. Yes. I do know that y'all had a spring carnival this year. Yes. And from what I had heard, that was to help raise some money for the fall fair. Was that successful? Yeah. And, are we going to keep having a spring carnival?
Yes, it was very successful, and we do plan to keep having it. We have a 3-year contract with the carnival company, Kenny's Funland, that came during the spring fair, and it was a very good carnival. The rides were very good, and it was clean, and so we're looking forward to having them back every year.
In the spring.
Okay. So generally we have had a carnival in the spring, but this year we wanted to make it a whole event, because it wasn't like just to come out for the carnival, So the EHC ladies got together and they did a vendor fair where we had about 30 vendors up there in the commercial building selling their wares. And then we had the first annual Brian Bailey Memorial Livestock Show, which was not it was at the same time, but HB Farms actually sponsored that. So there was a livestock show going on. And then we had lawnmower races, which I participated in, which was a blast.
Okay.
And we're going to do that again this fall.
An event of the Randolph County Fair size doesn't happen without sponsorships and volunteer labor. How can local businesses, this is the Chamber of Commerce, how can they get involved in helping the fair? I know we have commercial building. They can set up booths.
Yes.
Can they do more than just set a booth up?
Yeah, the commercial building is one way. The fair catalog is a huge fundraiser for the fair. So if you want to get an ad in there, which it would be for the next year's fair, but they could contact us about that. That is a great way. We also have rodeo sponsorships where you can get your banners put up in the rodeo arena, or you can actually be an event sponsor where you're the rider would come in before the event with your flag, like your business flag, and run the arena, and then they would give you a big plug and say, Buckeyes is sponsoring this event, or whoever, Peco or whoever sponsored it, and they get a big plug there. And then in the livestock show arena, we have sponsors that have their banners hanging in there. So there are lots of places to put your business out anywhere in the county fair, grounds to get, noticed, I guess.
And then, beyond just sponsorships, if people want to volunteer at the fair, maybe not start on the fair board, but just help out something that they have seen their lives growing up, and they not have children, may not have many hours to give, but even just one or two. Is that something that y'all could take advantage of?
Absolutely. We would love to have, what do we say out there? We say nothing is stronger than the heart of a volunteer. So if anybody that wants to come out and help any little thing. I mean, we have a lady that actually during the week of the fair, she comes out early in the morning and wipes off all the tables and picks up the trash around the table area. So it's nice for when people come back that evening. She plants flowers and puts up red, white, and blue banners on the buildings. And so just those small things, they mean a lot to us on the fair board, because during the week we're so busy. There's things that we can't get to. We want to get to them, but so especially during fair week, if you have a heart for volunteering and you want to come out, we would be glad to say, hey, could you do this? Or if you just want to come out there and see, hey, that needs doing, just, jump in and do it. We would be glad to have that.
Well, I'll keep that in mind, because I have some people who I know need some volunteer service hours. So that'd be really good for them to come out and do that. Now, the fair is a member of the Chamber of Commerce. And, you've said that businesses actually promote at the fair. And through that sponsorship, they can help the fair keep thriving. But the fair is at a location. And so people drive and park. How many people come from the county that you're aware of? And how many people come from outside the county to our county fair? Because I imagine you've heard feedback from the other businesses in Pocahontas, where the fair is kind of held, that they get a lot of extra foot traffic or walk-in traffic during the week of the fair.
Yes.
What do you think, as someone who's on the chamber, that the fair is a useful tool for the county itself?
I can see that it would bring traffic, because we have an estimated 20,000 people that come through the fair on any given year. So you've got those people that are going to restaurants. I mean, after about 3 days of fair food, sometimes you get ready to go to Dawn's and have a steak, or run through Sonic and grab you. So it does bring, because generally I'm on the farm through the week, but I'm in town all week. So I'm eating out or, going to Buckeyes to grab stuff for the show, going to Walmart to grab Gatorades and stuff to throw in the cooler. So I know that it does bring business to town.
Well, I mean, we only have 7,000 or 700 people, about 8,000 people in Pocahontas. So if 20,000 people are coming through, they're not all coming from Pocahontas and Maynard. So definitely we're getting a lot of extra foot traffic during this time. You mentioned there's a Randolph County Fair catalog. And for businesses who want to promote in that catalog, we're going to have the email below for you to email Anita to get your business plugged into the catalog, possibly get on Facebook, and also get on the banner that's coming around the rodeo. I have a couple rapid fire questions kind of round out the interview for you. These are lighthearted, and the only right answer is for you.
Okay.
So, because I know you're going to try and be nice to everyone, but these are rapid fire questions for you.
Okay.
Sweet yet tart lemonade, or a case of bottled water for your fair drink?
A case of bottled water.
The quiet of the livestock barns early in the morning, or the bright lights of the carnival at night?
Definitely the quiet of the livestock barn in the morning.
Sitting in the stands for the rodeo, or browsing the EHC building?
Oh man, that one is just a tie. Either one of those is great for me.
Okay. So the opening night excitement or the Saturday night grand finale?
Oh, God. Saturday night grand finale, I think.
Yeah, probably because it means you get to actually take a break and rest. Now, a crisp, unexpectedly cool August evening or a classic hot Arkansas summer night for the fair?
A cool, crisp evening, and that is what we're praying for.
Of course, of course. This is going to be a tough one. Funnel cake or mouth-watering hamburger?
Oh, goodness. I would have the hamburger and then I would have the funnel cake.
Okay. Your favorite carnival ride?
Probably the Ferris wheel.
Okay, nice. So, this is about your treasurer duty. Pre-fair budget planning on a spreadsheet or the chaos of the middle of the week?
The second.
Man, you like being in the thick of things. Okay. Bring home a giant stuffed animal prize or a blue ribbon from the home economics exhibit?
A blue ribbon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, because that's a lot smaller. You can store that versus the big stuffed animal. So, Anita, we're coming to the end of the episode. And one question we ask is something that I'd normally ask, but in this case, we're going to have Mark Holt, who's running the production studio today, ask the question. So, Mark, go ahead.
Anita, thank you for being here. We're happy to have you. And in the spirit of continuing the conversation outside of today's podcast, we want to see just from your perspective, someone or some business or entity or group that has inspired you or you'd like to see come and have a conversation with us in the future. Just someone that's impressed you here recently that you want to give like a shout out to.
Absolutely. The Fair Board would automatically come to mind. The volunteers are the Fair Board itself, the group of 13 that are working for the whole year to bring about the fair that's fixing to happen. And behind the scenes, people do not see all that goes into it. The fundraising, the mowing, the weed eating. I mean, it's unreal the amount of manpower and hours that it takes to put on the fair. So that would be the group that I would have to say. Just the unity of the group that we have and their willingness to see the fair continue, but not only to see the fair continue, but to see it flourish. And so that is the group that I would definitely want to promote and say.
Do you know off the top of your head the names of the 13 board members? Yes,
I do. Larry Dowk is our president. Jim D. Jernett is our vice president. Myself and the treasurer. Kaylee Ringo is the reporter. Steve Clements is the fair manager. Nicole Trueblood, Brian Hibbard, Sue Fair, Wendy Ward, Diane Rogers, Miranda Ward, Matt Fair, and Regina Hill. And I could go through each one and say Larry is an industrial electrician, and you cannot believe the work that he does out there. Jim is our wisdom. He's been on the board for many, many years, and he can say, "Hey guys, this will work. This won't work." He's kind of our go-to for been there, done that. I'm just the bean counter. Kaylee Ringo, she takes care of our Facebook and promotes our fair, and she's been instrumental, her and Sue, in doing the catalog, which by the way is awesome this year. Steve Clements, he is the fair manager, but he is Mr. Fix-It. He does, anything that needs fixing, Steve Clements is on the job. Brian Hibbard, if you need it mowed and weed eat it or whatever, he's just there to do whatever he needs to do. Nicole has done the pageant for 10 years.
Wow.
And it's not just a pageant. She is top notch at, helping those girls be their best. And, it's just not just about a beauty, being beautiful. It's about teaching them how to get on stage and promote a cause, how to speak in front of people. And she does a fabulous job with that. Matt and Sue, they just do whatever they need to do. And then we have Miranda Ward and Wendy Ward and Diane Rogers. And those ladies, along with Miss Sue, they work in the June Symington building to get all of those, the educational exhibits, all the food exhibits,
Yeah.
all of that. So they work on that building, they clean it up, they just do whatever. And so they make that part of the fair awesome as well. So I think I got oh, no, I didn't. Regina Hill. She is our fundraising coordinator and she is absolutely fabulous. She came on board later, kind of behind some of the others, but she just brought new life and she's great at what she does. So we are a team and
That's awesome.
I'm just so glad to be a part of it.
Well, speaking of your social media manager, what are some dates and the kind of the location people can go to find information about what's happening with the fair this fall?
Yes. So the catalog is out right now and it is at area businesses like it should be at all the banks. Buckeyes will have it. Anyone that put an ad in the catalog, they will have copies. So there are a lot of copies floating around town and we're super excited about the catalog this year because it is huge. There's a lot of pictures in it, but that is the go-to for all of the rules, all the dates, the schedule of events. That is all in your fair catalog. So you want to pick up a copy.
Okay. So at banks and Buckeyes, locations like that, do you have does the fair have a Facebook page or is that going to be shared?
They do.
I know the chamber shares some things. Do y'all have your own Facebook page?
We do. Randolph County, Arkansas Fair
is
our Facebook. And then our website is randolphcountyfair.org.
Okay, perfect. Well, Anita, thank you so much for coming on today. We really appreciate it. And I look forward to the fair this year.
Awesome. We do too.
The CommerceCast is a production of Fox Lion Studios. We are hosted by Mark Holt and Todd Baltz. Our executive producers are, also Todd Baltz and Mark Holt. Special thanks to the Randolph County Chamber of Commerce. Music provided by AGI. You can find links to everything we discussed today in the show notes. If you have a question or a topic idea, email us at commercecastpod@gmail.com. If you enjoyed the show, please leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It really helps new listeners find us. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll see you next time right here in the studio. Thanks for listening. Mark, we're always looking at the numbers behind local business. But here's a number every family in Randolph County needs to know: 39. We want to thank our sponsor, John Plumley, and his team at ProMed Ambulance for sponsoring today's episode.
That's right, Todd. For over 30 years, ProMed has been bringing world-class care directly to our doorsteps. And their Priority Care program is a game changer. It's not insurance. It's an ambulance membership that shields you from unexpected transport bills.
That number, $39 a year for an individual or $69 a year for your entire household, you're covered across their massive 4,600 square mile service region. We are talking about literal rolling emergency rooms equipped with LifePak monitors and critical care ventilators.
And if your insurance doesn't cover a transport, members get a 40% discount. Protect your family's budget today at promedambulance.com or call at 870-248-0911.
We thank ProMed Ambulance for sponsoring today's episode. Mark, we're talking local commerce, but let's talk about looking clearly at your business. Literally. We want to thank Skylar Jackson and the crew at Pocahontas Glass for sponsoring today's show.
Absolutely, Todd. Located right across the street from Walmart on Highway 67 South, Pocahontas Glass is our go-to regional shop for auto, residential, and commercial glass.
From fixing that annoying rock chip on your windshield to installing high-efficiency vinyl windows that slash your winter heating bills, Skylar's team does it all. They even handle commercial storefronts and custom shower enclosures.
Upgrade your home, vehicle, or storefront today. Call Skylar and the Pocahontas Glass team at 870-892-7676.